everybody, and welcome to episode 128 of the Let's Play World. Last episode, we built a storage area, and between episodes, I ran back to the old base, grabbed a bunch of leather, and made some item frames. So I've got all of the item frames in place. I also grabbed some of the surplus materials I had over there. So, we had some extra coal, extra sand, extra gravel, some stuff there. I might grab more and bring it over just so we have some things to put in our storage system. Also, between episodes, I did a little bit of thinking. You might have noticed as I walked down the stairs, there's some netherrack right here, and there's some netherrack back here, and there's some wood on the ground. So in our base, I want the floors to be wood and the walls to be stone, generally speaking. We might switch that up a little bit, but I started just playing with a wooden floor here, and then I had the idea that I could put some stairs here that could potentially go up to the next part of our base. Similarly, when we walk down the stairs, you'll see, wouldn't it be cool if we put some stairs here and maybe built a room right here? That would be pretty cool. And then down at the very bottom, I started sketching out a spot for our smelter. So imagine if we kind of walk down the stairs, and then right here we could put stuff in a chest maybe, and right here would be kind of where our smelter would be. And then I was kind of playing around a little bit and thought we might be able to take a staircase down to maybe a room here. I'm not sure what we would do with it quite yet, but that's about as low as I want to go. And I did a couple of pillars of blackstone just to kind of get a sense of how wide the base would be at the very bottom of the tower. And if we fly out, take a look, you'll see the blackstone about as wide as the staircase was, but I think that's a good width. It might taper a little bit as it goes up, and it might flare a little bit at the bottom. We'll figure it out as we go along. But I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. Like I was saying, really kind of organic. I don't want there to be a lot of symmetry or reason to why things are where they are. I just want it to be kind of comfortable and, we'll just kind of know our way around. But if you've never been here before, be a little bit of a labyrinth. So the main focus today, I want to get that smelting system done. If we have some more time, we might finish this floor maybe, figure out what we want to do here. I've got some pretty cool ideas, and I want this room to be a little bit of a weird shape, so I think that'll be fun. The other thing I was noticing is over here we have this kind of valley. I think that is where we flew in from the mesa. Over here, it's kind of interesting and picturesque looking over there, and a little bit of a valley here, and we've never explored over there. We do have the map from our old base, and maybe we could do a little bit of flying around and check out some of the surrounding areas and see what all is around us. But first things first, let's talk about this smelting system. So what I imagine is we'll come down here, and there'll be maybe like a chest or a barrel here that we'll put our items in. And then the smelter, I want it to be about 16 furnaces long and 2 furnaces wide. So right here we'll have like a mine cart that collects our items and then distributes them across 16 furnaces and then makes its way back over another 16 furnaces and kind of goes back and forth. So that way every time the furnaces smelt an item, we'll get 32 items all at once, which I think will be fine for our purposes. That's pretty quick. I think in our redstone chest, see here, got a bunch of hoppers, no furnaces, so we'll need to make some furnaces. All right, and every stack of cobble, I think we'll make 8 furnaces. That bring us to 32. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this staircase, just so we have somewhere to land and insert our items that we want to be smelted. Then we'll head down a little bit lower and build the actual room that will hold the smelter. Okay, so now we have our stairs that come down to a landing, and right here we'll have a chest so we can load items for smelting. And you know, as I'm building this, I'm not entirely sure what all of the walls and ceilings are going to look like. You know, earlier I was building the storage area, and obviously these are the walls here, but I'm not sure what I want the ceiling to look like. I was thinking I could do something with maybe like an arch in it, which would be kind of cool, but how would that interface with this? You know, would I make the arch go all the way up to maybe there, or just build a wall here? Same over here. You know, if I make this floor up there wood, I don't really want to see that down here. So I imagine the ceiling would go that high, and we'd probably be able to see the staircase from this side. It's a really interesting problem because it is so organic, for lack of a better word. I keep using that word, but it's just really bizarre and cobbled together, and I think ultimately it's going to be really fun, but it's tricky to figure out. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out here. So this is where the smelter will be, and let's see, if we put items in a chest and then we have a hopper that pulls them out there, and this is the level that the minecart would be at. The minecart would load into another hopper, which would go into furnace, would then be collected on a hopper. That would work. We should probably figure out how we're going to get coal in this system as well. Okay, I'm going to make this floor out of stone, just so we have something a little more substantial. Okay, so this is where the items are going to go. The hopper will grab them, and then the minecart will be right here on top of this powered rail. And this is basically what the system will look like. So the rail on top here is where the minecart will be. It will dispense items down into the furnaces, and over here we'll have a minecart that will dispense coal into the system. And then we'll kind of repeat this all the way down and back. Next thing I need to do is figure out how to get the minecart to stay here while it's being loaded. Let's see, we're going to take a reading off of that hopper. I want to put a comparator top of this guy here. Like so. And I think we will take signal into this block here, and we'll probably do something like this. Well, this block will be powered when there's items in here. We'll have it invert a torch. Hopefully that torch doesn't mess with anything. Torch will power the rails, and then when there's items in here and this gets powered, it'll invert the torch and turn off this rail so the minecart just sits there. I think that's going to work. Okay, let's put some items in here and see what happens. Oh, that's not great. I think what we'll do is instead of directly powering the rail, we will power the block that the rail is on. So, and then we'll get a repeater and plop that right there. There we go. Whoa. Break this. And then, yeah, we'll just bring the block down one. So, that dust back. Up. There we go. So now, this is on, because the torch is powering this dust here. But if we put some items in here, this gets powered, inverts the torch, and turns this off. Fantastic. Now, if this is going to be where we're loading the items, where am I going to put the coal? Okay, and now we have the same thing on the other side. So right here is where the minecart will be. The coal will filter down here. This comparator is watching this hopper, and we have a torch that is sending signal down here. And when there's items in here and the comparator turns on, that will invert the torch and unpower the rail. So now all I need to do is just extend this furnace array down. Okay, all I did here is replicate what we did on this side on the other side, and then down at the end it's just gonna turn like this and go back and forth, and then the coal minecart will take a little bit of a longer path and then come on down here and just hopefully bounce back. The last thing I need to do down here is figure out where the stuff's gonna go. So right now these two lines just terminate here. And I think what I'm going to do is probably create like a little item elevator to take it up to one of these barrels up here. Okay, put hopper into the back of that one and build a little closure around this. So. Okay, we're going to put a dropper right there, and we're going to run hopper into the back of that. And on the other side, this hopper is going to join up that one. Seal this up here, so that leaves that side open. And then, comparator, measuring, not going to work. Okay, I had to reroute the hoppers a little bit because I need a block next to this dropper, but there's going to be water here ultimately, so that gets a little tricky. So now we have the hoppers coming in on this side, and we've got a block here, and we're going to have a comparator measuring dropper, heater coming out of that, heater into this block, a little bit more space here. See if that'll work. That'll work. Do a block instead. Dust. And then I can seal this up and put water in it. That was a little tricky. I was sitting here wondering why the items weren't flowing into the hopper and they were just sinking down to the bottom of the thing here, and I realized I didn't put any soul sand down here. So let's see if I can do this without killing myself. There we go. Now the items should get pushed up here, washed over into this hopper, and then we can collect them in our storage area. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think the last thing to do is really just test it out. So I'm going to put a bunch of coal in here and see how that goes, and then we'll put some items in here to smelt, maybe some sand, and we'll make some glass, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, I've got a stack of coal. Pop that in here. That looks good. Torch powered off. Oh, I didn't put any minecarts. Okay, we're going to put a minecart here. And that is draining very quickly. And off it goes. Okay, let's put some sand in here. Trickle down. Hopefully our minecart will stop. There we go. Oh, and it took off again. That doesn't seem right. So I think there's just a little bit of adjusting to do, add a little bit of delay to the repeaters, and I think this will work just fine. In our old base, we had a way of stopping the minecarts when we didn't want them rolling back and forth. And we might add a system like that to this as well. We'll see. But first I want to check and see if anything showed up over here. I think this, yeah, some of the garbage. One glass so far. Thing frozen up. Yeah, we definitely have. Oh, interesting. So this is powering this block, which locks this hopper. That's not going to work. Well, back to the drawing board on that. Okay, I think I've gotten this thing figured out now. Made a couple changes. I took out the minecart with hopper and put a minecart with chest. The minecart with hoppers, they just fill too fast and the comparators can't keep up. So they would leave the station before they were all the way full. This is working much, much better. Down here, I used a system where I've got a couple of observers, and this observer is facing into the dropper right here. So the items come into the dropper, the comparator picks up the signal, and then we've got a little pulse extender because same kind of thing. One would go in here and then this would turn off, one would go in here, this would turn off. This keeps it extended a little longer so that this doesn't keep getting retracted back and forth. This observer will get pushed over here, they'll send a signal back and forth, and that will empty the dropper. Works really, really well. So let's give this thing a shot here. I've got a stack of coal. We're going to put that right in here. And I've got a stack of sand. We're going to put that right in here. We should see the minecarts come to a stop. There we go. Promising. Great. And then once they get all the way full, then we should see them take off. The problem with the minecarts that had the hoppers is they would pull it really, really quick, and then the comparator would think there was nothing in the hopper, and so there would still be stuff trickling in, but they would take off. So now what we should be seeing is the furnaces should be getting, loaded up. That's great. And you can hear these two. See how it kind of jumps back and forth? What's going on there is one glass is coming in, one glass is coming in, and I thought that oh gosh, see if I can get over there. I thought we made a pulse extender here, but it doesn't seem to be doing it. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that because this shouldn't send a signal around, it should just hold the signal on. We'll check that out in a little bit. Let's head upstairs and see how we did. I also want to show you one more addition I made, and that is a lever. This lever is attached to some redstone that runs along here, and it runs into each of the torches. So when I turn this on, those torches get powered and invert, and then these guys should just come to a stop. And that way, if we want to turn the system off, we can do that. Okay, moment of truth. We run over here, and look at that, a stack of glass. Fantastic. So we basically have a functional smelting system. I still need to troubleshoot that pulse extender so that we don't get this piston making racket whenever we're smelting something. And then we just need to kind of clean this up. Well, that all took a lot longer than I thought it would. But that's kind of how it goes with the redstone and all that. Anyway, I think that's where I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.